I'm excited to run you through what we're doing at Helen Duran to democratize education, to make it more equitable. So we don't have long. I'm just going to dive right in and I'll take you through it. First of all, let me tell you about Carlos. Carlos is an illustrator. I was looking for an illustrator. I found him on Facebook. And Carlos lives in Colombia, super talented. I offered him a job. He seemed interested. I said, great, let's have a meeting. And he said, I can't have a face-to-face conversation in English. It has to be in text. I said, I'm sorry, that's how we work. We have a distributed team. We have these online meetings. It's not a match, I'm sorry. And we didn't hire him. About 3 months later, I got a message from Carlos saying he was very upset that we didn't give him the job. And he'd spent 3 months improving his English, going for lessons, taking assessments. And he said, if anything opens up, please give me a second chance. And he messaged me about 2 hours after one of our illustrators had resigned. So I said, actually, yes, I do. I have something. And we had a meeting. His English was okay. We gave him some more lessons once he worked for us. I mean, that's what we do. And Carlos said that this was the best job he'd ever had. And I realized then how speaking English changes a person's life, gives them so much more opportunity, allows them to join global conversations that they're otherwise shut out of. And so the problem is that even though so many people in Europe are having English tutoring and working on their English, and it's in so many schools, the truth is that a huge percentage of the market, of the total addressable market, is actually locked out of learning English. There are entire continents that cannot afford to offer English instruction or quality English instruction to public school system. There are a lot of parents that cannot afford, even in Europe, where a lot of students are getting quality English education, cannot afford to give it to their kids. And so the question is, how can AI be utilized to make English education more equitable, to give many more students, millions of kids around the world, a voice in global conversations, in social mobility, having the opportunity to create a better future for themselves, and assisting entire countries in creating a brighter future for their economies so that they can integrate their workforce with global opportunities. So what are we doing in order to do this? Let me take a step back and talk about Helen Duran and what we do, where we come from. Helen is a linguist from the UK, and about 35, 40 years ago, actually 40 years ago, her daughter was learning violin using the Suzuki method. And for anyone who knows, the Suzuki method teaches music like a mother tongue. And Helen saw this and said, well, why are we teaching music using a mother tongue method, and we're not teaching a second language? We're not teaching English using a mother tongue method. And she got to work creating a very innovative technique of teaching English as a second language that recreates the environment that someone has when they learn their mother tongue. And that means background hearing between lessons. That means a lot of interactivity and positive feedback from the parent. And it means learning by play. These are the way we learn our language. When I was a kid, my parents didn't translate anything. They played with me in English. So why are we not doing that for our kids? And this method really was so successful that it just spread and spread and spread. And today there's 170,000 students per year using the Helen Duran methodology in 1,100 learning centers in 40 countries. And Helen has really created the gold standard of English language education, or English as a second language education around the world. And the results speak for themselves. They are very impressive. So this is where I joined the picture. About 5 years ago, I joined Helen Duran to create a digital format, a digital form of these courses. And we took the courses and we converted them for an online educational experience. So it's all learn by play, which is obviously custom fit, very well suited to learning online. And we created all these games. And we have a remote teacher join with the kids to have this private lesson for anyone from the comfort of their own home. And it's been quite successful. We see that people love it. A lot of students that join our demo lessons continue to purchase a course, and they stay for a long time. And we've seen that there's, in some governments, there's a lack of English teachers. And so they come to us to outsource, essentially, their English language instruction. And we have teachers in the UK, the US, and South Africa providing online lessons. So we have a 3-year contract with the Israeli Ministry of Education to roll this out to second grade kids across the country. And we see how much they enjoy it. So that's what we've done so far. But there are still serious limitations on the price of this offering in terms of addressing that need that I talked about in the beginning. This still costs money. And we realize that we've spent a long time creating this whole infrastructure because we decided that we were going to make this gamified platform that was more than just a glorified PowerPoint that you sometimes see in these online tutoring services. We created this entire platform with many games, 100 game engines with hundreds of games coming out of them to convert all of our courses according to the existing Helen methodology. And so we realized that all we need to do is plug in an AI, and it can run the games and interact with the students in exactly the same way that our Helen teachers do and the way we've been training them for 40 years. So we've built an AI to plug into these existing lessons, and that allows us to, in one foul swoop, convert all of our 320 lessons to be an interactive AI experience. And it drops the cost dramatically, which allows us to start getting to the cost where we could roll out our expert tutoring to students that never had access to it before. You're talking about millions of students in India or Latin America or the Middle East. And this is what we're working on, to make English language, our expert tutoring, more accessible through AI. And once you do it for English, you can do it for any language. I recently said to the AI, okay, speak Spanish. We're going to teach Spanish now instead of English. And it did the same thing. So it's very exciting, and we're moving at a very fast pace to release this in August or September this year. And I want to share with you, in the brief amount of time that I have today, a couple of lessons that I picked up along the way in this journey of transforming, first of all, an offline product to a digital product, and then a digital product to an AI product. The first lesson that I would say, the discussions that we've had, is you have to make a decision. What is the nature of your company? Are you a technology company or an education company? And when you go to technology people and consultants who outline what are the steps you need to take to transform something into an AI product, they obviously have an interest and an ability to see what you could do if you went all the way down the technology route. And that can be misleading, because if you're not a technology company, you might not be able to compete with the big technology players, and it's going to move you very slowly, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So we made a decision that we're an education company that utilizes AI and integrates it in a smart way without becoming overly invested in developing technology. The second thing is that as you're going down this route, you're going to have to show results to stakeholders that don't have all the time in the world and all the patience in the world. And so you can't lock yourself away for a year and make it a very sophisticated AI product, because sometime before that, people are going to say, where is this going? Let's see what you're doing. And you have to have something to show. At the same time, when you do show something, it's going to have to be sophisticated enough to impress people. So on the one hand, you have to have something in a short time frame. On the other hand, you want to have something that is sophisticated enough to be impressive. So there's a sweet spot there where you need to have something that's impressive enough, but quick enough. And that's a balance. Sometimes you can squeak by with something that looks impressive and gives people an insight into where this is going. But you'll still get flack along the way, even for things that you know will be resolved as you continue through development. But that's the game, to find the sweet spot in those multiple stages to satisfy your stakeholders and get buy-in to go through the next stages. And the third insight that I'll share is that once you start getting involved in AI development, it's an incredible technology, and the people who are developing it and working with it see its full capabilities and want to utilize those full capabilities. And it takes a lot of discipline to sometimes reel people back and say, that is not what we're doing. It's not about the AI. It's not about using AI to its fullest. It's about the learning experience. It's about capturing, for us, the secret sauce of the Helen methodology in a new format and getting this AI to teach in exactly the same way that our offline teachers do. And that may actually mean pulling back AI and limiting AI and using it in not at the full use case of what it can do. So those are the lessons that I've had. I will say that we have an exciting offering coming out in August or September for English and Spanish. Anyone who would like to see it, would like to try it in their schools, in their charter schools, in their networks, or anyone who would like, perhaps as an investor, to join us in the journey, I would love to have that conversation. So I have a sign-up sheet at the front. Just come down, put your name down, and I'm happy to send you a trial to demo it. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope to speak to you more. Thank you.